Hello and welcome to a new lecture. In this practical walkthrough, we are going to build our local desktop capture. As we have seen in the previous lesson, the local desktop capture is a simple program that has got one single button, and when you click on it, it will capture the desktop. And this is the design for our local desktop capture program. All it needs is a form with one button, and this button will have the text on top called capture desktop. When you click on it, it will capture a desktop image and save it to the local hard drive. So let's begin. So over here, we are going to create a new project. Select C# Windows Desktop, Window FormApp.NET Framework. Click on the Next button. Over here, select the correct folder, which is your red projects 2, and the name for the project is called Local Desktop Capture. Next, click on the Create button, and then we are going to put a button on the form. So click on the toolbox, click on the pin to pin the toolbox to the left, then double click on the button. Drag the button to the center of the form, and then here, the text that is to be displayed, we are going to say capture desktop. So type in here capture desktop. Hit enter. Now we need to resize the button so that you can see the entire text. Then we reposition it to the center of the form. Next, we are going to change the name of this object. To change the name of this object, scroll all the way to the top under the Properties button, and then here you can see the name. Presently it is called button 1, which is also shown here. So we are going to change this and call it button capture. So after you have renamed it, you can see the new name appearing on top here. It is now called button capture. Now we are going to insert a button click event handler. So just double click on this button, and the button capture event handler has been inserted. Let's unpin this toolbox so that we get a better, bigger work area. Now go and download this file from the resource section. We are going to import our own libraries, so delete all these existing ones. And then copy from here all the new libraries which you are going to use and paste it on top. Next, we are going to delete all of the form1 class from here so that we can paste our own code from the file that we downloaded. So just cut this away, remove it, leaving only the namespace. We come back to our file, we copy the form1 class from this file all the way until here. Copy it and paste it into our code area, and then click on save. Now I'm going to explain the code. The first line, we create an object of type bitmap. We call it memory image. This object is going to save the image of the desktop in memory. And then below that, we have a handle, an event handler for the button capture click. Inside it, we have two methods which we are defining ourselves. First is the capture desktop method, and the second is the save method. The capture desktop method is going to capture the desktop and save it to the bitmap image. The save method is going to save it to the local file. So let's now take a look at the details of the methods. When the button is clicked, it will trigger this event handler. The event handler will then call the first function, capture desktop, which is defined down here. Capture desktop is going to try all these instructions. We need to put it in a try catch block because this copy from screen might fail. So that is why we need to put it in a try catch block so that it will not crash the program if something goes wrong. It will just catch the exception and then disregard it. Inside the try catch block, this line here, we are creating an object called RC of type class rectangle. The reason why we need to create this is because we want to store the x and y coordinates as well as the height and the width of the desktop. So we need to have this object. This object is able to store the size and width as well as the coordinate, the x and y location. So we call the screen primary screen bounds property. This property bounds will have all the information we need about our desktop. That means once you call screen.primary.bounds property, it will extract the width, the height, as well as the position and store everything in this object called RC. Then we create a new bitmap using the dimensions of RC. So new bitmap, we take the parameters rc.width for the width and rc.height for the height. So rc is actually referring to this, and .width is the width parameter, the width property, and height is height property of this object. So this width and height is referring to the width and height of the desktop. And here we want to specify the format that we want to save it in, which is the RGB format. So we do that by calling the pixel format dot format32 RGB constant. After you have created a new image out of this desktop, we store it in memory image here. After that, we use this special syntax using. In C# programming, you can use this kind of inline methods, this inline syntax. So when you use this kind of method, you do not have to declare all the other unnecessary variables, create new variables, and so on up here. You can do it on the fly. So but just by using the using keyword, you can create this variable as and when you need it, and then use it immediately. So we create a graphics object called memory graphics, and this memory graphics is taken from the memory image up here. The reason why we do this is so that we can perform the memory copy down here. So memory graphics has got a built-in method called copy from screen. That is why we need to create an object out of the memory image here. Now the reason why we do this is because we want to use the memory graphics method called copy from screen. So copy from screen will copy the image of the screen into memory image. So this is where the magic happens. It is over this line that the magic happens. So after you have called this copy from screen function, you will have the image of the screen is now saved in the memory image. So in the parameter, we have to specify the coordinate rcx, rcy, and then the size and copy pixel source copy.